I'm going to show you how to use the Explain EDU app to do some screen recording. So I'm going to open up Explain EDU and I'm going to make a new project and just start with a blank canvas. Now Explain EDU will actually can record everything that you can do on your project. So I can record all of my writing, any images I insert, maneuver. If I have some PDFs inserted into there, I can tell it to record all of that's going on. Even going multiple pages from slide to slide, it'll record all of that in there. All I have to do is tap this red record button before I start doing my project. So I'm going to tap that button. It's now recording, and as it's recording, I can now go and change tools, and I could just say welcome, and then maybe I will go and I'll insert maybe a piece of clip art, resize that and move that over here. All right, and maybe I want to insert some text, and I can type add some text, and so on. So I can have all these different elements in here, and I could create a new page and do the exact same thing onto this page if I want to as well. And then when I'm done, I just hit stop, and it will stop recording, and it gives me this little timeline down here. And this shows me what's happened. So that bottom track is my audio, and the top track is showing me any writing that takes place. And if I go back to slide 1, the same thing. I went ahead and tap on this little arrow here. I can see here is all of the elements that were added and how they were added and when they were added, and all my writing and so on. Now, if I want to, I can do some basic editing to that. It does have a GIF button here in my toolbar. If I wanted to export this as an animated GIF, I could actually export that as an animated image if I wanted to have it loop and play over and over and over again, which is kind of fun. I have a little selection tool here that allows me to select parts of it. So if I simply tap and drag one direction or the other, I could select parts of this video and hit the trash can to delete. All right. Or maybe I want to move to a different area, maybe a part with some writing in here. And again, if I use my selection tool to select part of it, with it selected, I have a smoothing tool, which will smooth any motion that takes place. So any handwriting, it kind of smooths it out. If you had things moving around the screen, it'll kind of smooth those movements to make them a little more gradual. Or I can even speed up my image by the same deal, selecting it. I have a little 2x button here that I can do normal speed or 2, 4, 8, or 16 times the original speed as it goes through it. So it gives me some real basic recording options. And I can do some, again, basic editing that goes with that. I can also resize that timeline to really zoom in or zoom out, depending on how long my video recording is. But the really cool part is let's say I get to a certain spot here, and I forgot to add something, or I wanted to include something else. I can go back to any point in time, either all the way at the beginning or to a specific spot in my little timeline, and I can tap that record button again, and I can continue to add things to that. Now, before I do that, I'm going to tap this microphone button because I don't want it to record my audio again. I only want it to record my motions or animations I'm adding to the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and tap that record button again, and I could just as it's writing, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue writing my own graphics. So it's doing playing the video of everything that I had already recorded, and while it's doing that, I'm going to now add my own little graphics or drawings on the screen, and this is all happening. So I can have all these different elements until I hit the stop button to tell it to stop recording. So if I go back, I can see you kind of have two layers now of audio or of video here. I have my original drawings, and then I have my new drawings where I had my stars that I now added to this drawing. So you can record in multiple layers that even if you messed up, you don't have to start over from the beginning. You can go to a specific spot and start from that point forward and record multiple layers of video. And I just drew some stars, but I could be inserting more clip art, I could be inserting graphics, I could do all kinds of things in my presentation when I'm done. So once I'm happy with the way it looks, again, I can just go back and forth. I have a play button down here to simply play. If I push and hold on that play button, there's actually a play full screen option if I want to see the way it looks full screen. But once I'm happy with it, I'm going to go ahead and tap my little share arrow in the upper right hand corner here, and it gives me some export options. The one you want for the Explain EDU version we have is export. The video links only works if you have a subscribed account where you pay a monthly fee, and same thing with broadcast. So we want export. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you a variety of formats. In this case, we made a video, so we want to export that as a video. And now it's simply going to ask you, what do you want to do with it? I could publish it directly to YouTube, or save it directly to my Google Classroom if I want, but in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just add it to my Photos app. So it's going to go through, it's going to export my project, depending on how long my screen recording was, depends on how long this is going to take. And then once it's finished, it's going to save it as a video directly into my camera roll. Once I have it there, I can go ahead and airdrop it to my computer. I could throw it into Google Classroom, Google Drive, YouTube, or whatever I want to do with it. So that's some basic screen recording using Explain EDU.